to the headlines.
Kenya reflects on progress and challenges as World AIDS Day 2025 concludes. The rise of influencer goods. Can we trace authenticity in the digital marketplace? The digital voter. Can blockchain traceability reinvent democracy? From dusty roads to global circuits, the evolution of Grand Prix racing.
Hello and welcome to Traceability TV News, your source for the latest updates on global traceability and safety concerns. I'm your host, Miriam Munyoki. Kenya has wrapped up the 2025 World AIDS Day commemorations with a renewed call for courage, leadership, and community action in the fight to end AIDS by 2030. This year's theme, Overcoming Disruption, Transforming the AIDS Response, highlighted not only the progress made, but also the growing pressures caused by global funding cuts. Health officials warn that the declining donor support threatens essential HIV treatment and prevention services relied upon by millions. Still, the Ministry of Health says Kenya gains, especially the sharp drop in deaths and new infections over the past decade, must not be reversed. They are urging the country to remain focused, resilient, and united as the HIV response enters a defining moment.
At Uhuru Park and across counties, Kenya's marked World AIDS Day with messages of hope, remembrance, and resolve, yet the celebrations ended on a sobering note. A new UN AIDS report warns that global donor reductions could destabilize HIV programs in Kenya that depend heavily on the external financing. According to the report, only about a third of Kenya's HIV response is funded domestically, leaving critical services vulnerable to shifts in global policy. Health experts say that the biggest risks falls on young people facing a triple threat of HIV infections, teenage pregnancies, and gender-based violence. Protecting adolescents and high-risk groups is essential if Kenya is to stay on track for 2030. Despite the funding uncertainty, communities echoed a message of resilience, pointing to the 68% decline in AIDS-related deaths as proof that progress is possible with collective effort. Regis Regina, Traceability TV.
In today's digital hospitals, data has become a new lifeline powering faster diagnoses, automated care, and seamless coordination between doctors. But as hospitals get smarter, one critical question looms larger. Who truly owns your medical data? From lab results stored in the cloud to devices tracking every heartbeat, patients are realizing that privacy and progress don't always go hand in hand. Our health reporter takes a closer look at how the future of medicine is colliding with the fight for data control and how traceability could help restore trust.
Inside Kenya's leading hospitals, the digital revolution is well underway. Patient files have moved from paper to cloud servers, and wearable devices now feed doctors real-time data. But as innovation accelerates, so do concerns. Data breaches, unauthorized sharing, and unclear accountability have left patients wondering who has access to their most personal information. Experts say that to protect patients' rights, every data point must be traceable, knowing who collected it, where it's stored, and how it is used. GS1 standards, which already enable traceability in medicines and medical devices, could provide the same transparency in healthcare data systems. By assigning secure identifiers to every record and transaction, hospitals could ensure integrity, accountability, and consent at every step. Because in the digital age, your medical data isn't just information, it's part of your identity, and it deserves to be traceable, protected, and yours. Ronald Reagan, Traceability TV.
The global surge in cosmetic enhancements from Brazilian bath lifts to injectable weight loss drugs has created a booming high-risk industry. As demand rises, so does a shadow market of unregulated clinics, unapproved substances, and mystery injectable cocktails. Patients believe they're buying safety, but too often, no one can trace where the products came from or what's really in them. Health regulators warn that without proper oversight, the pursuit of beauty can turn deadly. And now, experts say the clearest path to safer procedures begins with one word: traceability.
Across Europe, the United States, and parts of Africa, authorities are reporting a spike in counterfeit fillers, diluted anesthesia, and mislabeled weight loss injectables entering cosmetic surgery circles. Many are shipped through informal channels, repackaged, and administered without any verified source. For high-risk procedures like butt lifts, where fatality rates remain one of the highest in cosmetic surgery, not knowing the origin of medical supplies can be catastrophic. That's why global health bodies are pushing for GS1-enabled traceability systems. By assigning every vial, implant, and pharmaceutical a unique digital identity, regulators can track products from the manufacturer straight to their operating table. Clinics can verify legitimacy before use, and patients can finally know the truth behind what's being injected into their bodies. In an industry driven by image, the safeguard often happens behind the scenes, but with traceability, the beauty business gets something it desperately needs: accountability. Rinta Luther, Traceability TV.
We're now taking a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more news updates after the break. Welcome to Traceability TV, your ultimate destination for all things traceability. We're the global platform that brings you the latest in traceability news, interviews, and live event coverage. From in-depth news updates to exclusive interviews, Traceability TV keeps you informed on the practices that are transforming industries worldwide. Our mission is simple: empowering organizations to achieve transparency, accountability, and sustainability throughout their supply chains. Our vision: a world where every product's journey is visible, ethical, and sustainable. At Traceability TV, we offer unparalleled opportunities for brand visibility. Feature your company, highlight your traceability solutions, and showcase your commitment to GS1 standards. Leverage our expertise to create high-quality advertisement videos that resonate with your audience, or sponsor a segment to position your brand as a leader in the traceability space. You can support us by partnering on special projects. Your contributions help us deliver more in-depth analyses and expand our global coverage. Traceability TV is more than just a channel, it's a movement. Join us in building a future where every product's journey is visible and trusted. Traceability TV. We trace it, you trust it. In an age where elections are increasingly digital, the question of trust has never been more urgent. From data breaches to ballot tampering, technology has both empowered and endangered democracy. Now, a new frontier, blockchain traceability, promises to make every vote verifiable, transparent, and tamper-proof. But can technology truly safeguard the will of the people, or does it open another window of risk? Our reporter takes a closer look at how traceability could redefine the future of voting.
Across the world, election commissions are experimenting with blockchain-based voting systems that record every ballot on a secure, traceable ledger. Each vote becomes a digital transaction, anonymous yet verifiable, creating an auditable trail from voter to the final count. But experts warn that technology alone can't fix mistrust. It must work hand in hand with global data standards that ensure system integrity. That's where organizations like GS1 come in, providing the unique identifiers and traceability frameworks that make data sharing secure and transparent. In the same way barcodes bring order to global trade, standardized traceability could soon bring accountability to democracy itself. Because in the ballot box of the future, every vote should not just count, it should be traceable. Ronald Reagan, Traceability TV.
Influencers have become the new global storefront, selling everything from skincare routines to luxury drops with a single swipe. But as their reach grows, so does the explosion of counterfeit goods riding on their fame. Shoppers are left guessing whether the serum, sneaker, or supplement they saw online is the real deal or a convincing fake. And with digital commerce moving faster than the regulations, the question is no longer just what's trending, but what can truly be trusted.
Behind every viral product lies a supply chain that most consumers never see. Many influencer-baked items change hands multiple times, from wholesalers, repackers, overseas suppliers before they land on a consumer's doorstep. Somewhere in that maze, authenticity can vanish. That's why industry experts are turning to traceability systems built on GS1 standards. With globally recognized product identifiers and scannable digital barcodes, each item carries a verified history that can't be faked. It means regulators can track the shipments, retailers can confirm origin, and buyers can finally check what's real with a simple scan. In a marketplace overwhelmed with persuasion, traceability is becoming the strongest influencer of them all. Regis Regina, Traceability TV.
Welcome to Visibility Sports News. I'm your host, Rigan Getao. From roaring engines on dusty tracks to billion-dollar spectacles on world-class circuits, Grand Prix racing has become the imagination of fans for over a century. Today, Formula One is more than a sport. It's a showcase of technology, speed, and human skill at the limits of possibility. But how did we get here? From humble beginnings in Europe's early 20th century road races to the global Formula One calendar we know today, the sport has constantly evolved, embracing safety, innovation, and drama along the way. Our sports reporter takes a look back at the thrilling journey of Grand Prix racing and how it became the pinnacle of motorsport.
The story of Grand Prix racing begins in 1906. When the first official French Grand Prix set the stage for international competition. Early races were perilous, held on public roads with minimal safety measures, yet they captured the spirit of speed and innovation. By the mid-20th century, Formula One emerged, formalizing rules, circuits, and car specifications that shaped the modern sport. Technological breakthroughs such as aerodynamic design, turbo engines, and hybrid power units have transformed racing into a high-tech spectacle. Safety innovations, from crash barriers to the Halo cockpit device, have saved countless lives while allowing drivers to push limits. Iconic teams and legendary drivers like Ferrari, McLaren, Schumacher, and Hamilton have cemented F1's global appeal. Today, races are broadcast to millions worldwide, combining sporting drama with cutting-edge engineering. From Monaco's tight streets to the high-speed streets of Monza, Grand Prix racing continues to evolve, honoring its history while racing towards the future. Rinta Luther, Traceability TV.
And that wraps up our news bulletin for the day. Stay tuned for an informative documentary. And as always, I've been your host, Miriam Munyoki. And this is Traceability TV.
Every year, on the 1st of December, the world pauses to observe World AIDS Day, a day to honor lives lost, celebrate survivors, and renew our commitment to ending the HIV and AIDS epidemic. This year, we reflect not only on the journey so far, but also on the role technology and innovation play in delivering hope. World AIDS Day was established in 1988 as the first ever Global Health Day. Its purpose was clear: to raise awareness about HIV and AIDS, stand in solidarity with those affected, and educate the world on prevention and treatment. The epidemic first emerged in the early 1980s, creating fear and stigma, but amidst the challenges, hope grew. From the discovery of antiretroviral therapy to global initiatives like UNAIDS that brought treatment to millions. Today, over 38 million people live with HIV worldwide, and the fight continues. When Jane was diagnosed with HIV in 2003, she thought her life was over. The stigma was overwhelming, and accessing medication was a struggle. But thanks to organizations that provided ART and educated them, she learned to live and thrive with HIV. Survivors like Jane remind us that HIV is not a death sentence, but it requires consistent access to quality medication, which is a challenge in many parts of the world. Kenya has been at the forefront of fighting HIV and AIDS with institutions like the Kenyatta National Hospital, the AMPATH program in Eldoret, and hundreds of community clinics delivering life-saving care. These hospitals play a critical role in ensuring no patient is left behind. Behind the scenes, technology plays a pivotal role in ensuring safety and availability of HIV and AIDS medications. GS1 Kenya is part of this effort, providing global standards that improve the traceability and delivery of medical supplies.
As a GS1 Kenya, we first of all help entities, that are manufacturers, companies, and stakeholders in the supply chain to identify. In this case, we are looking at the antiviral drugs, the ARVs that are key for the HIV patients. For us to be able to identify that the products that these patients are consuming are authentic, we need to be able to, first of all, understand what drug is being given to the patient, number one, and who is manufacturing this drug, who is selling this drug in the supply chain. Having identified these drugs, we offer standards to enable the capture of this information. Standards like the data matrix and the barcode that is normally on the product is what a patient and the caregiver scans to verify the authenticity of the drug. When was it manufactured? What is the batch number? What are the details of this drug? From that linkage of this information, all stakeholders in the supply chain share this information in an accurate and standardized way. You know, the ministry and all the partners in this fight against HIV and ensuring that the viral loads break down to marginal figures need this information. And traceability as a tool is supporting this. As GS1 Kenya, we are working with various manufacturers who are members, but also at the same time, we are engaging health institutions, the government, and the caregivers to understand how information about these products is accessed and shared to the patient. It is a right for the patients to understand, what am I taking into my body? When I come into the health center, tell me, show me, and how to be able to authentify the products I'm consuming. Through this information, the patient is more engaged and they are fully informed about what they are consuming. And in the long run, we are able to support so many with this information.
These standards also help healthcare providers monitor stock levels, predict demand, and prevent waste. In a fight as urgent as this, efficiency saves lives.
So as you are aware that the supply chain in Africa is really fragmented, you know, we are currently supporting so many entities. First of all, the manufacturer, as the producer of these commodities, are doing their part. Every drug that is currently being manufactured or imported into the country is required to come with a GS1 unique identifier, in this case a GTIN, alongside the data carrier, which is a data matrix. So this information is already happening, but we still have a challenge that hospitals and the specific smaller institutions are still not able to share this information in a structured way. You find that the packaging already has the information. So as GS1, what we are trying to help to solve this challenge is we are engaging effectively through sensitization, because once these stakeholders are informed that information is available, how do we capture this information and then we're sharing it to the specific relevant stakeholders? So it's basically that simple challenge. The information is available through the manufacturers. We have it on our systems globally, but there is still a gap between the caregivers and the patients, So through sensitization, engagements in our various forums, we are able to reduce on that gap. But also we advise all entities in the supply chain to adopt technology. Invest into systems to support your patients communicate efficiently, because we even have identifiers whereby the government is able to uniquely identify every patient using our standards. Once a patient comes into the institution, they capture the patient's details. This helps us to track, because there are patients who don't come back for their drugs. You find that on the record, the government had so many patients, but we are unable to understand where did this patient go to. They've been getting care and so on, but all of a sudden, we are unable to track them. Because if we follow up on them, we're able to even give more services through other development partners, and we're able to improve their standard of living. So it's a fight against how to bring down the HIV rate globally, but most importantly in Kenya.
So World AIDS Day reminds us that this is a fight we can win. With innovation, collaboration, and compassion, by adopting GS1 standards, governments, hospitals, and organizations can ensure that every patient receives the care they deserve.
As we celebrate International AIDS Day, I would like to remind each one of us to always verify the commodities the products, the drugs we consume. Information about these products is readily available. Simply scan the data matrix on the product and have access to all this information. GS1 cares.
Together, we can create a future free of HIV and AIDS. This World AIDS Day, let us renew our promise to leave no one behind. The journey continues, but with innovation like GS1 standards and the courage of millions, we're moving closer to the goal.